Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and here are the best new games releasing in March 2026 that you need to know about. We've got first-person shooters, arcade racing games, chilled side-scrolling games, and a few titles you probably didn't even know were dropping. But either way, I've got you covered, and before we jump in, let me know what games you were looking forward to. And we're kicking today's video off with Crimson Desert, which could be one of the most hyped and talked about games this month. So it's an action-adventure game where you're in this huge fantasy open world with different factions fighting for control, and you are stuck right in the middle with your crew. And from what we've seen, you're not some clean-cut hero, you're leading a group just trying to survive. But what stood out to me so far is how the combat looks. You're grappling enemies, launching and slamming them into stuff, not just tapping a few light hits and calling it a day. Also, the map looks huge. I reckon the exploration of this is going to be nuts and we're going to be spending dozens of hours getting lost in random side quests. Honestly, if they actually deliver on the scale that they've been showing, this could be an incredible game. So this drops on March 19th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Toxic Commando is up next and it's definitely one of those mindless, over-the-top first-person zombie shooter games and I am all for it. So basically, you and up to 3 friends are thrown into this apocalyptic looking world where everything's gone wrong thanks to some dodgy experiment. There are mutated creatures everywhere, vehicles you can jump in and modify, heavy weapons and loads of explosions. You can even craft weapons, drive through hordes of zombies and work as a team trying to clear the areas. Now what I like about this is it's not trying to be some clean, deep emotional story game. It looks loud, messy and clearly designed to be a fun co-op game. Now I'm getting a total mix of games here including Days Gone with the Hordes, Call of Duty Zombies and Back 4 Blood. I just need to convince my squad to grab this on March 12th as it's coming to the PS5, Xbox Series and PC. And then we've got Screamer, and this is one that I have been keeping an eye on as it's a brand new arcade racing game that actually looks like a lot of fun. Now it's not just another arcade racer where you just floor it around the track smashing into anything as you go, as you need to use the second analog stick to actually drift as you turn. There's also a boost bar to fill up and the ability to take down other racers with weapons and special power-ups. Now there is going to be a single player mode to progress through the main story, as well as online multiplayer and up to 4-player local split screen as well. On top of that, I'm liking this anime art style that they've gone for both the cars and the tracks. Now I know it's not going to be for everyone, but it's given me Need for Speed Unbound vibes with the vibrancy and the character designs. So if you fancy a racing game that's not a typical sim, this launches on March 26th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. And on March 5th, we have got Planet of Lana II Children of the Leaf. Now this is the sequel to that really chilled cinematic puzzle platformer game from a few years back. The one with Lana and her little companion wandering across the alien world. Well, it's back and this time it's still side-scrolling, story-driven and puzzle-solving, but it's now bigger than before. I also had to include it today as it's the perfect, calm, atmospheric game that you could just chill out to and it looks awesome. So if you fancy a sit back and take it in kind of game this month, well this drops on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch. Then if you're in the mood for throwing people through tables or hitting them with steel chairs, we've got WWE 2K26. Now this is one of those games you end up playing far more than you expected, as you can either play this solo, online or up to 4-player co-op with your mates. From what they've shown so far, they are tightening up the gameplay again, tweaking animations and adding more than 400 playable characters at launch. There's also 4 new game modes called I Quit, Inferno, 3 Stages of Hell and Dumpster, so plenty of new content. And this will be available on the PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch 2 on March 13th, unless you go for one of the Ultimate Editions where you can play this from March 6th. Next up is Marathon, which is a first-person sci-fi extraction shooter from Bungie, and there seems to be a lot of talk about it right now. So you drop into these futuristic, colourful sci-fi maps as a runner, grabbing loot, fighting other squads, completing missions, and then trying to escape with your squad. It's classic extraction shooter. Now you'll be able to play this with up to 2 other mates in a squad of 3, but there will also be 5 other squads dropping into each match. Now I did originally include this as an easy top 10 for March, but having played the early access last night and seeing the general feedback online, I'm not really sure how this launch is going to go. But if you do want to test it out for yourself, there is a free-to-play open access live right now. There's no purchase and no pre-order required and you can test it out for yourself. Otherwise this drops on the PS5, Xbox Series and PC on March 5th. Okay, now this is going to provide pure nostalgia for some of you today, and that is Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. Because if you played the original back in the day, you will remember how weird and dark it was, even if the camera controls and angle were a little frustrating. Whereas this month we are getting a remaster, and it's said to preserve the soul and story from the original game, but it is back with upgraded visuals, smoother controls, and a far better camera angle. And for the first time, you will be able to play as both Kain and Razzle, each with different abilities. I'm just impressed at how good the visuals look on this. It's going to launch on March 3rd on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, PC and Switch. Pilgrim EX or X is a new side-scrolling beat-em-up pixel art game that looks like something you would have played back on the SNES. Now it's got a brand new original story, 4-player co-op and a banging soundtrack if the trailers are anything to go by. Now it's going to be one that you actually want to play with your mates, playing as one of 7 characters juggling enemies in the air, smashing through stages, collecting coins and button bashing your way through a Friday night. You can also play this with up to 3 friends locally or online, so another great couch co-op game to add to your list. It releases on March 3rd on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Okay, so Life is Strange Reunion might not be one you expected to see in today's list, but it's an easy narrative-driven game that sometimes is all you need. So this is a direct sequel to Double Exposure, and this time both Max and Chloe are back following a huge fire at the uni. And from what's been shown so far, it looks like you'll be playing as both of them this time, switching stories and using that classic Life is Strange rewind superpowers. Now I'm going to be honest, I have actually played them all, and I will definitely be giving this one a go when it drops later this month, as it's not an action-heavy game but a story-driven and dialogue-driven game. And the good news is the entire game will be dropping on March 26th, so there are no episodes this time that you need to wait for. Ghost of Yotei gets a brand new DLC this month called Legends, and it's going to be free. So this is the co-op multiplayer mode that we also saw added to Ghost of Tsushima, so to see it added to Yotei this early on is awesome. So with this DLC, you will now be able to play with up to 3 mates in a few different game modes. There's a survival mode where you'll fight waves of enemies across the map, a story mode that lets you go through a series of new missions with 1 other player, and the incursion mode, which is what you will unlock at the end of the survival mode. There will also be new boss fights, 4 classes to choose from, and a new hub for practicing combat. Pretty cool that we get all of this for free, and this will drop on March 10th on PS5. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly is a survival horror game that originally launched back on the PS2, but is getting a full-blown from the ground up remake this month. If you ever played the original, the whole game is basically you and your sister wandering around this abandoned village, and instead of using guns, you've got a camera. That is it. You actually fight the ghosts by taking photos of them, and the closer they get, the more damage that you do. And it's not like the other horrors where it's a constant jump scare everywhere you go. It's quiet corridors, weird whispering, and that feeling that someone's right behind you. It also looks way better now with the lighting and the character designs. This is going to drop on March 12th on PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch too. And there is a demo out for this game on March 5th. And then on March 13th, we've got Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Now, this isn't the usual Monster Hunter game where you're rolling around for 40 minutes fighting one monster. This is the turn-based RPG spin-off series. And from what's been shown so far, the world is falling apart and there's conflict between the kingdoms, and there's some big mystery that needs solving. It's definitely more niche compared to something like the main Monster Hunter games, but if you've played the previous titles, you will probably enjoy this too. And this is coming to the PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch 2 on March 13th. And then here are a few bonus games that didn't make the top 10 today. We've got Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is coming to PC this month, and it comes with all of the usual extras like performance boosts and ultra-wide support, and that's dropping on March 19th. Then if you're a sports fan, well, MLB The Show 26 launches on March 17th, and this is the annual Major League Baseball game with loads of new features this year. And I was also going to mention Mouse PI for Hire, but that was delayed until April, so I will talk more about that game next month. And if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, we've got these new games dropping in March. These are the free monthly games that we get for all plans, including Essential, Extra and Premium, so don't forget to add these to your library regardless of whether you download them straight away, as you will keep them for as long as you have an active sub. Okay, well that wraps it up for March 2026. What do you think? We've got an arcade racer, horror, some chilled couch games, and a few big hitters to keep us busy. Now I'm looking forward to Toxic Commando, Planet of Lana II, and definitely Crimson Desert. But what about you? Anything that you're really hyped to play this month or something that I've missed today? Now drop a nice March games in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my new gaming setup video next. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow me everywhere. Until next time.